a few months ago I was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
But just because you might feel okay doesn't mean everything is okay.
But I do have a little bit of common sense the second time around. I already done screwed up once. I can't even begin to explain the way it was going on. Stuff morphed into other stuff and just really crazy, trippy stuff.
Y'all, Matthew did it. He used every crumb of food. So I bet y'all never thought if you got an RV, you would have to have electrician skills. You basically have to be an electrician. And let me explain. You see this light right here? When we turn it on, it wants to have like an episode of The Exorcist. But I'm not the electrician in this relationship. It's...
Not me either.
But how did you learn how to do this? We're going to show you about these lights.
Really, necessity is the mother of skills, because when you have to figure something out, then you do.
And the reason we say you need to have electrician skills is because it's not plug and play like a house where you just unscrew the light bulb and screw it back in. You gotta cut some wires and crimp and cramp.
Yeah, we'll show you, but first we gotta cut off the power.
Oh yeah, don't want Matthew to go zzz.
I know you've seen me do this before. These lights are, in our RV, are probably like a lot of yours. They're like a mouse trap. So they have a couple of metal spring-loaded things up there, and when you take it out, they might snap your fingers, so you gotta be careful. Come on.
Oh.
There we go. I'm nice and clean. I was a little bit gun shy because you see these? Now these are wrapped in plastic, so it's like a plastic mouse trap, but that's the way it is. That keeps it in there nice and snug, and it does a pretty good job. So all I'm going to do is, because these are crimped on connectors, I'm going to cut these off. I'm going to put the new light up here, connect some new connectors, and then I'll show you me putting this back in, because that's a little bit interesting. Alright, so I just have a simple wire strippers, because you're going to have to cut these off. I don't know of any way. This is crimped on here, so I'm just trying to make sure that I figure out what goes together. So over the lifetime, you don't want to change these lights too often, because then you won't have any wiring left. Alright, I am not an electrician. I am not anywhere close to being an electrician. But I do have a little bit of common sense the second time around. I already done screwed up once. So, on the back of these lights, y'all, at least for us, there's a dark wire and a light wire. Up here, your rig might not have 4 wires coming out of the ceiling. Mine does. Each pair has, you can see, a dark stripe and a light stripe. As far as I understand it, the dark ones, the ones with the dark stripe, go together, and the ones with the light that are totally white go together. I know they use random wire colorings for these stinking RVs, so yours may be totally different, but that's just something to look out for. Alright, so the dark ones went together, and they're hanging nicely, so now the light ones go together. And I use my little crimper tool. Okay, crimp one side, crimp the other side. Alright, before I put this sucker back in the, I was going to say refrigerator. I have refrigerators on the mine. This does not go in your refrigerator. Well, before I put this back in the ceiling, the smart thing to do would be to turn the lights on, turn the power on, and this is actually, it's funny because if you have a breaker panel, that doesn't control some of these lights. Some of these lights are only controlled by the battery shut off. Like in our pasture bay, we have a big red, it looks like a Fisher-Price plastic key, you know, the kind that a baby would chew on. And you turn it to the opposition and it turns off only the DC side. So these are DC lights, they go right to the battery. So that's what I have to turn on, and then you'll see before I do if they work.
Alright y'all, we're fixing to see if the RV is going to catch fire when Matthew turns it back on. Let's watch. Ooh! And the light is working. Oh, that's motion. The middle one is a motion light, is why it comes on and off.
So it's working?
It is working. It's nice and pretty, and it's not doing the exorcist dance. Y'all, there's nothing like taking a shower and it's like boo 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 boo. I mean, it makes that noise too, right?
Yeah, and putting your contacts in and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so tuck these back in here. Nice and pretty like. Get your mouse strap. Now putting it in is easier than getting it out. I just tuck one in. Ouch. Tuck the other in, and it really sucks itself up. You do have to be careful because this is like, I don't know, what, 8th or 16-inch plywood or something. If it's even plywood at all, it's like glorified cardboard. So don't wrench on it too much. But that's it. All I got to do now is just
now y'all can see
clean up
the
my
mess
mess.
more. Look at
What
that.
a mess.
I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, and then it's all on his shirt. So.
And honestly, y'all, I really do like our bathroom. You know, you see other people's rigs and you see houses, and we watch some videos where people take cruises and stuff. And I'm thinking our bathroom is small, but it has just the right amount of space for everything that you need. So I don't know. I didn't think that'd be part of this segment, but I like this bathroom, and having 2 lights or 3 lights in here when they're working is just perfect. And we have the beautiful skylight. I couldn't ask for a better bathroom.
Love, love, love the skylight. In fact, when we got the roof, we're like, do not cover the skylight up.
No, because they offered to, and we said, no, we want the light.
Right.
So a lot of y'all have been asking how I'm doing. And if you're new to the channel, a few months ago I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. So, you know, we're kind of trying to get my medications dialed in. I'm seeing doctors. I have a movement disorder specialist. So anyhow, recently she upped my medication. She gave me a second type of medication. It's called amantadine. So on the first week, she said take 1 pill a day, because this stuff, it goes directly to your brain, folks. So, you know, roll it out slowly. Don't just take a handful at a time. So by the second week, I was on 2 pills a day. That's when stuff started getting really, really weird. So if you remember back, we told you recently we got a new mattress because the other one was garbage. You remember? So I woke up every hour. Well, I didn't put 2 and 2 together back then. I thought it was a mattress, and partially it was because I was in pain. We were both in pain from that horrible mattress. But what I didn't tell you was that first night that I took the second pill during the day, that amantadine, 2 in a day, man, when I was laying there in bed, my mind wasn't just racing. I can't even begin to explain the way it was going on. It was like psychedelic, weird stuff, like really weird, like stuff morphed into other stuff and just really crazy, trippy stuff. I've never done anything in my entire life that would have given me an experience like that. And I was like, this is bad. I don't like this at all. No. So not only could I not sleep, but it was just, I didn't see any hallucinations, but it was weird. So I couldn't sleep, so I messaged my doctor, and man, I got a great doctor, because they don't message you back on the portal, they call you. And I love that. So her assistant called me and said, the doctor read everything you said, and yeah, why don't we go back down to 1 pill a day? So fast forward to now. It's been how long since I've been on 1 pill? Not even a week?
No, because she didn't change it till Monday, and you haven't hit Monday yet. So.
Okay. So it hasn't even been a week yet, and slowly but surely I'm sleeping more every night. Last night, I think I slept for about 5 hours before I started waking up and mostly staying awake. So it's getting better. It's getting a lot better, because at first I wasn't sleeping at all. And you know, these medications for Parkinson's are common. They've been around forever and ever, but the short story is it literally goes right to your brain to produce more dopamine. So anything that goes right to your brain, it's really sensitive stuff. So that's what we're working our way through. And I'm glad we're still here in Florida for that reason, because my doctor's right here. Well, 2 hours away, but my doctor's right here. She's close by. She's very responsive. What do you think?
Well, my concern is that when he started taking the amantadine, she said that is more of a medication that's more for the tremor.
And it's more stable. The carbidopa-levodopa is like a roller coaster. It's effective and ineffective throughout the day, whereas amantadine is more of a straight line. So that's what you want.
And when he first started taking it, he saw a difference.
Yeah.
And so I was worried that if he, can't sleep, I'm like, well, what's worse, not sleeping or having the tremor? Because I like that he is able to be so functional, and y'all can tell a difference on even the camera now.
I can hold my hand still.
Because, I don't have to worry about how to film around his arm and stuff like that. It's just so much more natural now because I can film all of him and stuff like that.
And I can use my hand.
And not have to worry about his arm, showing and stuff like that. Matthew said, honestly, sleep is better than the tremor, but then you have to go out in public, and you don't want to be like that in public. So that was my concern. But this is only the second medication that she's tried him on. So even if he does have to wind up being off of it because he can't sleep, then I'm sure there's other things that she can try. God's like, you're staying here because unfortunately it's not like one of these situations where you got the pill on the first try and you can just see her like once a year kind of thing. So
we'll go back to seeing the doctor once a year, once it is everything is dialed in. So that's your Parkinson's update for the day. All right, so what do we have going on with all this goodness on the countertop here?
We don't have enough ingredients yet. Hold on, one more. I would like to call this BBB, which stands for Budget Breakfast Burritos.
So, y'all, all of this came about, and I'm not going to give you the brand name, but what did we buy the other day at Wally World?
The pre-made frozen burritos.
And then how were they?
They were not very good, and they were spicy.
They were spicy, and they were just really nasty. And we thought, you know what? It's not that hard to make breakfast burritos, so we're going to make our own. And like she said, budget friendly, as you can see.
And then this is going to wrap it all up. Our, I was going to call it artificial. That is aluminum foil. Do y'all say tin foil or do y'all say aluminum foil?
I guess it depends on how you grew up.
Yeah, let me hear your southern. I wonder if it's tin foil. You ready?
I'm ready.
Look at all these ingredients, y'all. Do you think Matthew has enough cheese?
You can never have enough cheese.
Ain't that
never.
Ain't that the truth? Y'all, look at this buffet going on here. My goodness, Matthew, that's enough to feed an army.
We're making a lot of people hungry right now. And we've got this down to a science. I mean, we've only done one, but what could go wrong? So we got this, the Kraft Singles. And this is actually really important because once I put this down, that's going to be kind of the template for where everything else goes. Because if you put too much stuff in there, you'll never get it together. It ends up being a breakfast bowl instead of a breakfast burrito.
Hey, I'm all about breakfast bowls.
Yeah, but you can't freeze them very well.
All right, y'all, my opinion was to mix everything, and he wants to do it in layers. What is y'all's opinion when it comes to building burritos?
I just didn't want to mix everything in a bowl because I don't want to obliterate the eggs.
So that's our potato mix, which has peppers and onions in it. Next are the eggs.
That's right.
Nice fluffy eggs.
Yeah, they are.
Looks like something you'd find at a Shoney's buffet. Come on, y'all. Am I dating myself?
The Shoney's breakfast buffet.
Who used to eat at the Shoney's breakfast buffet? And I think some still exist.
They still have one or two in Gatlinburg, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge area.
And Matthew used to work at a Shoney's.
Oh, yeah. Man, them were the days. What do you think? That enough?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this is the Johnsonville breakfast sausage. You can use hot and disgusting. You can use any kind you want to.
Ours is mild.
Mild, yes.
If we haven't disclosed it enough, we do not do spice. So this one is our sausage one. We haven't done a bacon one yet.
And this is just for flavor.
So y'all, Matthew, I said, well, I could put the cheese on. He looked at me, thought a second, and said, nope.
Nope.
Matthew's all about the cheese. He thinks I go skimpy on the cheese, but...
You do. All right, now, this is the part you gotta get right.
Everybody shout, wrap it up. Wrap it up.
So, you gotta tuck in. You know, if you've watched fast food people do this enough, you can pretty much pick up the skill. It looks bad until it's all over, and then, and look at this. Nothing special. Tuck in the sides. And where's my pen? I write an S with a line.
That means it's my burrito.
And yeah, it means it's sausage. All right, breakfast burrito, and not a skimpy size either. Look at this monster. You're not going to go hungry with our breakfast burritos.
The next question is what?
Not for sale anywhere.
We will finish all this up. Do your guesses below. Comment below. How many burritos is this going to wind up making? All of this. And
I don't have any idea.
yeah, y'all, Matthew did it. He used every crumb of food.
Use it all. Nothing goes to waste. So here's our stash. Excuse all the dirty dishes. I haven't cleaned them. Look at
And-
these beautiful burritos.
Come over there. And what's the final count?
13 burritos, and 3 of them are bacon. The rest are all sausage.
Now it's my turn to be poked
and prodded.
And we're both starving here.
So Sean just got her annual,
Yes.
and so you got to starve yourself. And because of my medication, I can't eat for a little while now, so Sean gets to sympathetic starve with me because I had to sympathetic starve with her this morning.
That's what I was going to say. He was sympathetic fasting for me, but now, yeah, we can't eat for a couple more hours. The last 3 years, I've been getting my annuals out west in Idaho Falls, so it was so awesome to just keep going to the same office. They had all my records, all the tests that you need done. Well, now, trying to get into some place in Florida, I tried to have an office that had all in one because that's how it used to be for me back in Mississippi. Loved it. And they're like, we're not taking new patients. I'm like, are you kidding me? This was not just like a primary care. This is like, female stuff or whatever. And I'm like, I couldn't get in. And I finally found one, and they were able to get me in a couple weeks because my prescription was running out. And the old office at Idaho Falls was like, well, we'll give you a couple of months, but then we're not doing it anymore. You got to come back. I'm like, I'm in Florida. So I found an office in Florida, and they don't do everything in the office. So I was running around. So I was able to go next door and get my lab work. I love Quest Diagnostics. You just go in and
So easy.
they say appointments are highly recommended. I'm like, great. Like, they'll choose them over walk-ins, but as soon as I went in, they're like, the next appointment's in 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, cool. We don't have to wait that long, because I'm like, look, I'm starving, and I'm not gonna wait
till
all
3
day.
o'clock, yeah.
Right. And the next thing female stuff, you have to get annual other things done, and they were a little bit more complicated because usually in the past they would just send me to the building, and the building same day, and the building would work me in, and they would contact my previous place to get the old records so they can compare or whatever. This one's like, no, we need your records first, and then you can schedule an appointment. I'm like, yeah. And the other thing is, you don't want to get these scans, at the hospital, because even the doctor that I just saw said, yeah, they take walk-ins, but then they charge you a little bit of a fee because it's a hospital. I don't know why the insurance does
Insurance
that.
is like that, yep.
So you want to pick a standalone imaging place. All this to say, when you travel, it can get a little complicated, especially if you're in busy areas like Florida, because even the doctor that I just saw said, yeah, everything is backed up. We just have so many people move into the area, but there's not, the clinicians aren't multiplying kind of a thing when it comes to Florida. Man, buggy Florida.
Yeah, we don't normally have to deal with this, but there's a lot of little gnats and stuff.
So the last time you saw us, we were in the truck when it pertained to my medical. I had went to get my annual done and my blood work. Well, the doctor called back and said, you know what? That blood work ain't looking too hot. So you need to find a primary. And she really wanted me to see an internist, but I'm like, yeah, the internists don't take new patients for some reason. So I'm like,
Florida's really busy for internal medicine.
I'm like, but this one right here has a good primary care. So I'm going to be able to get in a month, which is good because sometimes even if they're taking appointments, it's usually, what, 4, 5, 6 months or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And she also was not happy with my blood pressure, which kind of runs in my family. I have a bad family history of blood pressure and things like that. So I'm going to be going to the doctor in about a month to get my blood pressure checked to see if I'm going to have to unfortunately go on medicine and then see what's going on with my blood work. I mean, a year ago when they checked my blood work, they said some things were kind of off with it and they wanted me to get tested again. But, you know, we're traveling and I didn't put my health as a priority. And so now that we're kind of slowed down when they took my blood work again and it was kind of about the same, a little bad. I'm like, okay, now since we're here for Matthew, I'm like, we should take care of it. So that's what's going on with me right now. And that's all I know. I haven't officially got the word from the primary care what's going on, but it's like one thing the doctor said. She said, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if because your blood work's bad, that's causing the high blood pressure, or is your high blood pressure causing the blood work to be bad? It's kind of like the chicken and the egg kind of thing. So we just wanted to, you know, just share what we're going through health-wise. Like, I guess when you decide to become full-time on the road, just make sure that you try to make your health a priority because, you know, it can eventually slow you down and you don't want things to get worse. And I did get my annual, you know, every year, but I guess I just didn't really, I'm like, blood work or whatever.
Some things you think you're going to do it on your own, and you should try to make them better on your own. But if that doesn't work, it's like I've been saying recently, it's easier to maintain your health than it is to get better health. So, and all of you know that's true. So if you have decent health right now, then try to do what you can to maintain it. And that's what we're all about this year. This year is all about health for us.
And I think another reason is I felt good mostly. I mean, y'all saw me. I was doing those mountain hikes and stuff like that. But just because you might feel okay doesn't mean everything is okay. So if you're not going to the doctor at least once a year and getting your blood checked, definitely, because you never know what's lurking.
Yeah. Maintain yourself. Take care of yourself.
All
We
right.
care about you.
I already gave enough blood and these bugs want some more, so we'll holler at you later, y'all.
Signing out.